In the sprawling landscapes of Iran, a nation rich in history and oil reserves, the recent turmoil has sent ripples across the global economy. War erupted unexpectedly, disrupting the delicate balance of energy supply chains that have sustained economies for decades. As conflict escalated, oil production in Iran plummeted, creating a crisis that transcended borders and affected every corner of the world. The price of gasoline soared in cities from New York to Tokyo, fueling inflation and economic uncertainty. Governments scrambled to find alternative sources of energy, seeking to stabilize markets amid growing fears of a prolonged conflict. In some nations, industries dependent on cheap oil faced shutdowns or major disruptions, threatening millions of jobs. Shipping lanes became choke points, with tankers rerouted around conflict zones, adding delays and soaring costs. The United States and its allies imposed sanctions, intensifying the economic squeeze on Iran and complicating efforts to restore stability. Meanwhile, Iran's economy contracted sharply, unemployment soared, and social unrest simmered beneath the surface. Farmers, manufacturers, and everyday citizens grappled with skyrocketing energy prices that diminished their purchasing power. In Europe, reliance on Middle Eastern oil strained relations and compelled policymakers to hasten investment in renewable energy sources. Countries like Saudi Arabia and Russia saw opportunities to increase their market share, shifting the geopolitical landscape. Yet this transition was fraught with uncertainty as global markets grappled with volatility and unpredictable supply shifts. Environmental groups voiced concerns about increased fossil fuel extraction elsewhere, fearing a setback to climate goals. On the streets, protests erupted, demanding peaceful resolutions and the cessation of hostilities that threatened global stability. In the background, scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to develop alternative energy solutions and improve energy efficiency. Amidst the chaos, some regions invested in solar, wind, and other renewables, aiming for a more resilient future. In a small Senegalese village community, leaders organized to implement solar panels that would reduce dependence on imported fuel. In Asia, nations accelerated their bid for energy independence, diversifying sources and investing in nuclear technology. The crisis also exposed vulnerabilities in global supply chains, prompting companies to rethink their strategies. Technological innovations emerged as a beacon of hope. Digital platforms for energy trading and AI-driven demand management gained prominence. Despite these efforts, the world felt the sting of uncertainty as markets reacted dramatically to each news flash from the Middle East. Financial leaders warned of potential recessions if the conflict persisted or worsened, igniting fears on trading floors. Meanwhile, oil-rich nations faced dilemmas: continue production at risk or hold back to escalate bargaining power. The social fabric in affected regions frayed as rising living costs and economic instability fueled unrest. In Tehran, families gathered in markets, coping with shortages and seeing their savings evaporate amid inflation. Diplomatic efforts to broker peace intensified, with international bodies urging restraint and dialogue. Yet deep-rooted rivalries and geopolitical interests complicated negotiations, prolonging the suffering. Some experts predicted that this crisis could reshape the future of global energy, accelerating the shift to renewables. Others cautioned that fossil fuels would remain vital for years to come, despite the push for climate-friendly alternatives. As the world watched, a pattern emerged. Resilience and innovation were emerging as key responses to crisis. In remote Arctic regions, explorers studied new ways to utilize untapped resources responsibly and sustainably. In South America, rainforests echoed with debates about balance, exploiting resources versus protecting ecosystems. Throughout Africa, communities adapted by investing in off-grid renewable solutions, fostering local energy independence. The crisis underscored the interconnectedness of economies, a spillover effect that reminded nations of their shared vulnerabilities. In an age where oil once seemed a guarantee of prosperity, uncertainty now reigned, prompting reflection and change. And as the conflict dragged on, the hope persisted that diplomacy and ingenuity could steer the world toward stability. Across the globe, every country faced its own challenges and opportunities amid this turbulent chapter in history. In the end, it was clear that resilience, innovation, and cooperation would determine the path forward. The story of the world's energy struggle was still unfolding, a testament to humanity's capacity to adapt in times of crisis. If you like this video, please follow or subscribe.